Hello, I'm Annette from itsadelight.com. So lately I have been making a cranberry water kefir and we have just been loving that. So I thought, you know what, I'm going to share that with you guys this morning and just bring you right in and let you see how I do it. So first I'm going to start out just showing you how to do your water kefir. Okay, so here is my water kefir, okay, and it's already going. So you wouldn't have this yet, but I'll show you what you will have. And what I'm going to need to do is I'm going to strain my finished water kefir into a jar right here. Okay, so this is my finished kefir. Okay, and we're just gonna set that aside for right now. I'm gonna show you how to turn this finished kefir into a delicious cranberry flavored kefir that you're gonna love, okay? But when you have your kefir grains, here are my good kefir grains, my healthy kefir grains, okay? Okay, so these are my kefir grains. You can just see they're just little tiny kefir grains, and mine are just a slight little tan color because every now and then I give them a little bit of sucanat or rapadura sugar instead of just organic cane sugar. That's typically what I feed them. And then this is the culture, okay? This is our kefir culture, and it kefirs our water into a probiotic drink, okay? So also, I'm using a nylon strainer because we don't want to use metals with our water kefir grains. And I don't just sit this thing down anywhere. Again, I want this super clean, so I'm going to sit it in a dish for a minute. It's just going to sit in a dish for a minute. And here is my sugar water, okay? So in my measuring cup, I put 1/8 cup of organic cane sugar, and I'm going to put that into a clean jar, back into a clean jar, okay? And then I'm going to fill the rest of this jar with good water. Okay, and good water means good water. Don't use chlorinated water whenever you're fermenting. You will kill your ferment. It's bad. Then I put my grains just right back in here, and they're a little happy home, and they are going to feed off of that sugar and turn this into a delicious lacto-fermented drink. This is my crazy napkin. Yep, that's what I do. I just put that back on. This is real life. I put my rubber bands back on it like so. And I'm going to cross off the date. And I'm going to put today's date, Saturday. And I want to take this, I want to feed this in 3 more days. So Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. This just keeps me accountable. Like, okay, Tuesday. Maybe you can't see it real well, but literally, that is how simple I keep it. So that is how easy this is. This is my finished kefir. We strained it off, and now here is my newly being fed kefir water. So this is gonna go on my back counter. Literally sits on a little plate back there. You will probably see this like 24/7. I have one of these, and then usually something else that I'm flavoring, okay? So this is gonna be plain again, which is where we're at right here. Now, when I strain off my plain, every 3 or 4 days, and that's what you can do. You can do this 2 days, 3 days, 4 days. You can go up to 6 days with this and still be just fine. What will happen with your kefir grains if you went longer than, let's say, I would say 5 days in a small jar like this, or 6 days? They are going to start, they're going to eat up all the sugar that there is, and they're going to start disintegrating themselves because they're not going to be able to be fed anymore. So you don't want to just go forever with this, okay? But it makes a nice amount. We get this amount. Now what I'm going to do to my finished kefir is I'm going to add some cranberries to this. Okay, so I just want to say a couple more things about that sugar that we put into the jar, the new jar to feed it, okay? And that is that sugar needs to be dissolved really well. That's why I do it in a measuring cup. I actually heated my water up a little bit because I'm impatient, and then I stirred it and got it to dissolve really well. But then it has to sit and cool for a while. Don't put hot water or anything beyond tepid water with any, you're not going to do that with your water kefir, with your milk kefir, with your kombucha mushroom, because those cultures are, think of them kind of like yeast when you make bread. Anything that's beyond tepid or just a nice room temp is going to kill that culture, or that bacteria, that yeast, and we don't want to do that. So be sure that if you heat your water like I do, just a little bit to get that sugar to dissolve, that it's very cool when you add it to your jar to feed it. Okay, so now we have our finished water kefir, like I mentioned. I do mine in a jar like this pretty much 99% of the time. 1 or 2% of the time, I'll do it in something fun like this, in a swing top bottle to get an extra fizz, because you need that super tight cap. But when I'm doing berries, and that's why I'm almost always doing berries, this is a hassle to clean. So if you were just going to do this with like a lemonade, you're going to do a lemonade kefir or some other water kefir, cider or whatever, this bottle can work great. Or juice if you're using fruit juice. I almost always use berries, and so this is my basket of fruits. I keep it in the freezer just like this. Super easy, you guys. I always have lots of fruit. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put a couple cranberries in here, and I'm just going to, this is how I would do it for you guys. I'll count them. I have 8. So we're going to put those cranberries in there. Yeah, that's all it takes. And then another favorite that I love to put with that cranberries is a little bit of raspberry. So this is probably about 1/4 cup. And these are just raspberries I grew from my garden. We don't need a ton. This is a 24-ounce size jar. And you could make this in a quart jar if you didn't have a 24-ounce. But this will use up in 3 days for us. And then I'm always getting new. Okay, so the other thing I learned that's really good with this cranberry raspberry is a few blueberries. That bag's getting a little low. I want about 5 or 6 blueberries in this, okay? All right, so now you can see, that it's not filled up very full. I don't have to stir this. I literally do not fuss with this. I put my frozen food in here, my frozen fruit rather. Yes, cold is just fine. You're gonna put on a tight storage cap because I want this to get fizz. I'm gonna label it cranberry kefir, okay? I actually want you to just be able to see it a little bit. And when, like tomorrow, because this is gonna sit and ferment for 2 days, tomorrow I probably will pop the cranberries because they'll start to get swollen. And then I want that cranberry to really fall in. You can start to even see the color. When I start to pop those cranberries, the color goes in them even more. But because I'm always in a hurry, I just don't fuss with the scissors in that now. I might tomorrow. I am just gonna put my cap on. So, like I say, you can see that color start to form already, and you can crush this fruit. You can do it, cut as many as you want to tomorrow, the next day, however, and it's just going to continue to get richer and richer the more you do that. I am like low fuss, low key. Put my cap on there. Tomorrow I might give it a shake, and I probably will take my scissors and cut a little bit of it up just because it'll be thawed then and easy to do, and I want it to be rich. Then it's going to sit on my counter for 2 days, okay? And I'm going to put it in the refrigerator. Now, when you're ready to put it in the refrigerator, you can strain it off, or again, I usually put it in the fridge with the berries and just let it go another day or so as we're drinking this. I'll just strain this off into a cup, and then we'll have a little glass of it with our dinner, and until I'm ready to strain it off completely. Okay, so my theory is leave the berries in there as long as you can, as long as you want to, and then let me show you a finished one. So, like I say, this is going to continue to richen. Here it is. I've strained it off, and I really just do that as a blessing for my husband so that he doesn't have to strain it into his cup, because he loves this. He is going to drink this every day. And this is a ergo spout. Oh, you guys, I love these. It's going to keep this is going to continue to get a little fizz to it. If you haven't seen my review on this ergo spout with the handle in this great this plug right here. It's not too hard, but it is nice and firm. That again keeps that fermented drink to just build up a little bit of fizz, which we love. So then you can just pour it right off. This one is a wide mouth, I should have said that. Into your glass. This is delicious, you guys. This is such a delicious cranberry probiotic drink. So easy, just made with water, Kefir. So I hope that you will love that this fall. And even adding blueberries, get creative. You could put blackberries in there. You could do all cranberries in there, whatever your heart's desire. And I'll see you in the next video.